Mommy's Post and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about something different. I'm going to talk about what's on everyone's mind, and that is self-isolation. Whether you are at home with your family or you're all alone, or you are in quarantine because you are sick, or you are working because you are an essential worker, I would like to just talk about as a mom and what my routine looks like and what our 30 days of self-isolation looks like. So let's get started. We have been self-isolating for about 30 days now. My baby's about a year and 4 months old, so he is pretty active. He is running around. He is trying to get into trouble. So it is very hard to keep the toddler interested or kind of get them engaged while we are spending our time indoors. So when we first started our self-isolation, my husband was still working. He works in Manhattan, so they did not close non-essential businesses until later. I want to say about a couple weeks later when they announced the statewide closure. So while he was going to work, we were self-isolating in the house as well. So we would make sure that once he comes home, he takes off his shoes, cleans up, washes his hands, washes his clothes before he engages with us. So if some of you out there who still have a essential worker who is leaving the house and coming back to you every day, I know there's a lot of factors in what to do with that. But my personal experience, what we did, we just kept him afar and until he was able to, clean himself. It was very hard. It was a very stressful couple of weeks for us because in the midst of everything that's happening, we knew that New York, especially Manhattan, his numbers were on the rise, and we were so overwhelmed and stressed that he would contract COVID-19 and how it would transfer to me and my baby. And so we just were very worried and very concerned about that. The first couple of weeks we just, waited it out, waited for them to close all non-essential businesses, and that was the happiest moment ever. I just knew that my husband needed to be home with us so we are not being constantly exposed to COVID-19. So after that, we just stayed indoors, we self-isolated. We would just leave the house to grab groceries. For about 2 years now, I have been using the online delivery system. So once I gave birth, I decided to use the system, and I just have been using it ever since. If you don't know what it is, your local grocery stores typically have an online delivery system. Either you can pick it up in store or you can just have them deliver it to you with a delivery fee. And there's also third-party companies who will do the grocery shopping for you and drop it off at your door. So I know Costco and Target also work with Instacart. I know Amazon, which is Whole Foods, has Prime, and so they have their own division, but a lot of these stores are offering that. So I have been doing that for a while, and once the whole lockdown and self-isolation and the quarantine happened, I was not able to do that because all of our time slots were taken, and I till this day cannot find an availability for any delivery slots. And I look out 9 days in advance, and however advance I can look into, and they don't have anything available. So at this situation, I am forced to leave the house to go grocery shopping. So while, I'm out there, obviously we're doing the 6 feet social distancing, we are wearing our masks, we are cleaning and sanitizing everything that comes to the house, including ourselves. I have the Lysol and the Purell in the car. I wipe my hands down, I spray myself down with the Lysol before I even enter the car, so there's no cross-contamination. So that's pretty much what I have been doing as far as just kind of getting through, getting the essentials, surviving the quarantine. But I'm gonna dive deeper into what I've been doing with my toddler in specifics. So the first thing that I found extremely helpful was to stay on routine with my baby. And it's so easy to fall off of your routine, especially when the days kind of mush in together and you don't know what day it is, what time it is, or you are not obligated to be somewhere, or you don't have to sleep early so you can wake up early. So it's very easy to fall off track of your schedule. So I remember like the first week that happened, he was sleeping in a little later and then, you know, going to bed a little later. So it kind of, we were just adjusting with the stress of everything and just trying to adjust to our, you know, new normal at this point. So after that first week, I kind of was just like, okay, everything just is not in order and it's driving me insane. I'm sure it was driving him insane because we were on a tight schedule up until that point. So I decided to kick back into that schedule. So, you know, bedtime's at 7:30. He wakes up, wakes up around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then takes a nap for about 2-3 hours and wakes up and then, you know, stays up until 7:30. And then we do that schedule all over again. As, you know, as we maintain that schedule, things that we can do to stay entertained during the day, or activities that we can do during the day. We had to kind of be creative and figure out how to stimulate or engage your baby pretty much. So we would find activities to do during the day, and I did a lot of research on how to keep my baby engaged. So we would just go ahead and listen to music and do a little dancing session. We would run around. He has a little basketball hoop that he likes to play, so we would play basketball with him and just throw the ball into the hoop. And just little small activities for him. I had flashcards that he likes to play with. We were building blocks. I bought Jenga, so he would like to build the Jenga blocks and then just knock them down. You know, we were baking, so he would watch me cook, and pretty much anything that kept him entertained. I would also give him some screen time, so he has his iPad and he would listen to you know, the YouTube for kids, and he would just engage with that. We would just play around with him, entertain him, and then casually, when the weather got nice, we would go out for walks. So even if we're not walking for a far distance, we'd just go outside in front of our home, and I would just have him run around and, you know, pick up things from the ground, you know, rocks, whatever it is, and then I'd have him like throw it or talk about it. I found that going outside was the most stress reliever for him, because if we were indoors for a prolonged period of time, so let's say 3 or 4 days, consecutive days in a row without going outside, he would get mentally exhausted. So I would have to take him outside just to change the scenery, and he would get so excited once he would see his shoes because he knew we were leaving the house. And it kind of broke my heart because he likes to go outdoors. You know, prior to the self-isolation, we were, you know, outside all the time. We would go outside, outdoors, engage with people, and, you know, that was kind of everybody's lifestyle, I would assume. And so for us to just, you know, kind of wrap it up and just sit indoors for this amount of time is kind of, I guess, a shock for our children as well. So I try my best to, you know, be happy, be playful. I, you know, make the environment so that it is not stressful, and that he doesn't know what's going on, but babies do pick up on our emotions. So I try my best not to show that to him and make sure that he is happy at all times. I know it is a lot of work, especially if you have other things going on. So if you have a family member who is ill, or you have lost a family member because of the COVID, and you are just struggling financially, you're struggling, I mean, there's just so much factors for us to stay positive, and it is very hard to just keep going. My advice is just to keep a structure in your home as much as you can and engage as much as you can with the baby. I know this is a very hard time for everybody, and we are all going through a lot at this point, and hopefully we are going to come out of this stronger and healthier and better, and just, you know, resume back to normal with precautions. I know people who have lost their loved ones is tragic. My heart goes out to you and your families, and I pray for everyone to be healthy and safe. I just, you know, this is times that we don't know how to interact or how to respond to these moments, because we've never been in a particular situation before. So it's something that we just are trying to cope with and deal with, because we are just trying to understand the situation and the severity of the situation and how to stay engaged, stay healthy, stay active, and just keep those spirits up within your household. My husband and I, we challenge each other to do workouts. You know, we go up and down the stairs, we do jumping jacks, we do push-ups, anything to keep us, you know, alert. My baby will see us and he'll jump on our backs and he'll think it's so funny, so he will just, you know, join us. So it's very much the environment that you make it to be. I know it's not an easy thing to go through, but we just have to figure out a way how to get through this. I will also link things below of how else you can keep your kids entertained, and hopefully you guys will find these ideas useful. So I thank you again for watching this video. I will be back soon, and please stay healthy, stay blessed. I will see you back.